Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Island Space Caribbean Museum. My name is Mandy, and I am the manager for the space. I first want to thank you all for being here tonight. It is such a pleasure to welcome you to this very special Fireside conversation featuring two iconic figures in reggae music, Dean Frazier and Tarrus Riley. You can give them a round of applause. Now, before we begin, I wanted to take a moment to extend our sincere thanks to the Broward Center for the Performing Arts for inviting Island Space to host this beautiful evening ahead of Tarrus and Dean's performance tomorrow night at the Parker. If you haven't already, please purchase your tickets online. We still have a few available. We also want to thank the Broward Center for generously sponsoring our light bites in the back, and also want to give a shout out to Coconuts and Cocktails for the refreshments that you received this evening. Now, for those who may not know Island Space, if this is your first time here, we are the only space that represents every part of the Caribbean. The only place like this in the entire world. So I want to say thank you and welcome home. Now, our exhibits, events, and community programs uplift the story, the history, and the contribution of Caribbean people locally and globally. Now, as you are enjoying this evening, please, we welcome for you to come back, bring your friends, make sure that you guys take a tour. You can donate items to us. If you would like to see some items of your homes, your native home, please bring them over to us. And also come and take a look at some of the events that we're having. We have Invitation Couleur, Mango Festival, the Nancy Children Festival, Hers, the Rum Cake Festival during the holidays, and of course, our third annual Reggae Genealogy happening next February. You can stay connected with us by checking us out on islandspacefl.org or going on our social media, which is simply Island Space. Now, before we want to acknowledge us. We have an exciting development here at Island Space. Please join me in welcoming Tifa, a Grammy-winning Jamaican artist, dynamic entrepreneur, and soon-to-be newest member of our board of directors. We are so honored to have her lend her vision and voice to our mission. As many of you also may know, Khalid Thompson, to my left, our co-founder, former board president, and current executive director of Island Space, will be our co-moderator for the evening. I also want to take a moment to recognize Garth, Big G over here with the tunes. And if there are any other musical and notable figures in the room tonight, please know that we see you, we appreciate you, and we are honored by your presence. And now it is my pleasure to welcome the Consul General of Jamaica in Miami, C.G. Oliver.
And that's not me, you can go here. But I don't want to just up the stage. Quickly. For those of you standing in the back, there are some seats in the front that previously had reserved, but I would love to see them filled. So please just come and fill those seats. CG, your turn. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you are here and you love reggae music, let me see you just put your hand in the air right now. Make some noise for reggae music. Miss Lou would say that was fake. Need some oomph. If you're here in the rock, you make a hand in love. Make some noise. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank Island Space for continuing to be such a big contribution to the community. Thank you for the work. You know, this is the home of many events in the community, including our monthly lecture series and many events. Many of our groups have been using Island Space. It's very central, and they have been very accommodative. And we ask that you continue to support the vision, their mission. And I want to commend Tifa. It's a long time I tried to bring her into the community. I'm going to give her some tips, work with her. I know she both now, the community service. Give her a round of applause. I want to just quickly recognize some folks before we get into the gentleman of the hour. I want to acknowledge the folks from the Broward Performance Center, Gustavo and Maria, who are always so supportive. They're right at the back. Let's give them a round of applause. He's no longer commissioner, but I will big him up. Mr. Barnes is in the house. I know a lady who set the stage. We have 27 elected officials of Jamaican descent, just here in South Florida alone. There's a lady here who paved the way. I trained her for many years. And I can tell you, she's good. She's really good. Our board commissioner. Who am I speaking about? Let's give her a round of applause. And I want to recognize her husband, Mr. Rogers, very cool and connected, always supportive. All right. I want to big up a gentleman, Mr. Maury Wright, who's never wrong. He's always right. And he's here. Thank you, Maury. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some legends in the house. I don't want to mention all of them. But when you are to learn a musical instrument, it takes time and practice. And you have to learn how to hold the instrument properly. and blowing it properly and do all kind of things. You have to have a proper instructor. So when he decided to consult me for some lessons, I did not hesitate because I saw talent in him. And now he has become one of the finest, not just in Jamaica, but in the world. Legendary Mr. Pete Fireside is in the world. But ladies and gentlemen, my finest student, your student, before I bring up the finest student, remember now, if you have not yet registered for the 5K, next week, Saturday, we already have 850 people registered. It is going to be our biggest 5K ever. A round of applause. We have, as always, ambassadors. We have Kimani Mali. We have 8-time Olympic medalist Veronica Campbell-Brown. And we have a gentleman who has given us 30 years of excellence in the business. A gentleman, I don't know if you have heard of the name, Sizzler. All right. I hear him training, putting on his shoes and things, but I'm ready for him. So make sure you register. Now, anybody who registers this evening, just show me the receipt. You'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to the big show tomorrow night. You know that? You have to come to me. We're going to welcome whoever. I expect at least 10 of you to register tonight to get a raffle, and then one person will win, huh? I talked to, yeah, in addition to what you bought already. Yes. But ladies and gentlemen, all the good people are born in April. Yes. If you are born on the sign of Tarrus, it means something great is happening with you. And only great things can come in your life. And let me tell you something. It's not by chance. This gentleman's, I used to listen to Top 30 charts. And there was a song, Love and Devotion, by a gentleman named Mr. Jimmy Riley. And every week I used to bet on it to reach number 1, and it linked number 1 several times. And I said, what a great artist. Let's give it up for Mr. Jimmy Riley. The late Jimmy Riley. Jimmy was called to higher quarters, but he left his son. And he left his son in good hands. I've been training his son for many years. Born under the sign of Tarrus, this gentleman has won awards after awards after awards. Hit after hit after hit. In fact, perhaps one of his biggest hits is a celebration of our women. She's royal, and I salute all the women in the house, right? I can still remember when we sat on the veranda. Open that to you today. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, for a joke aside, we're proud of what reggae music has done for us as a people. We are proud of how reggae music has continues to put us on the map. The gentleman I'm about to introduce is a gentleman who has been one of the finest artists Jamaica has ever produced. Put your hands together as we welcome, as we recognize. Is that welcome? All right. As we honor and salute a gentleman who has made us proud, Mr. Tarrus. Please stand as we Mr. Tarrus.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, CG, for that wonderful introduction. I won't do the additional protocols because we have recognized Commissioner Rogers, we've recognized Commissioner Wright, we have recognized former Commissioner Winston. I was going for the last name and I couldn't remember Winston. Commissioner Barnes, and of course our esteemed CG, who, as he says, does his distinguished lecture series at Island Space every single month. Who we have coming up next month? Johnny's? Oh well, music again. King Johnny? Oh, all right, he will let us know. All right, so my name is Khalid Thompson. I am the Executive Director, one of the co-founders and former board president of Island Space, and I want to introduce a gentleman that I knew once upon a time in a former life when I was in the music industry. He's 55 years strong in the music industry, a staple, stalwart, trendsetter, and trailblazer for reggae music in general, and horn section specifically. One of the most iconic saxophonists to ever come out of Jamaica. He has sat in rooms and recordings and seen stages and audiences some could only dream of. A writer, composer, producer who has worked and played on hundreds of songs locally and internationally. A mentor and father figure to many within the music industry. You can catch him on stage tomorrow night at the Parker in Fort Lauderdale with Tarrus Riley and with the Black Soil Band. And he's here at our Fireside chat with us. Please welcome Mr. Dean Fraser O'Reilly.
Hello everyone, I'm Latifa Brown. I am your future hopeful board member of
Absolutely.
the Island Space Museum, and I have the opportunity to announce this person sitting beside me. So he's what most would call a legacy artist. But to stop there would be unfair because he has forged a superb legacy of his own. He has toured the world, father, humanitarian, writer, producer, an electric performer. His peers call him Sini because of his distinctive vocals and overall love for the craft. He's slated to perform tomorrow at the Parker Playhouse in Fort Lauderdale with Dean Fraser and the Black Soil Band. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome and happy belated birthday to Tarrus Riley.
Thank you, Tifa. All right, so we're going to start off at the beginning, right? We want to learn your stories from the beginning. So let's talk about the roots of your musical careers, and we'll ask you both this question to start. Tarrus first, and then Dean. All right, Dean first, and then Tarrus. When did your personal love affair with music begin?
When the thing get hard, the times hard, life hard, and I had the opportunity to learn to play a clarinet. So it took me maybe 2 years to transform and move over to saxophones. So at age 15, time come.
And Tara, same question to you. When did I know I love music?
Good evening, everybody. Protocol there, sir. I'm singing for me and Mr. Fraser. Good evening. The question is when I know I started music?
Yes.
Love affair with music. It probably began without me knowing that it was happening, but just born and going on music, being around my father, being in the studio long before I even like singing. Just being around in musical environments. I don't want to be anywhere else. I just want to be around it. And then, when I just love music. My mother hear me sing. And she say, you know your voice nice? And I say, wow. But then, I never liked singing. Because to me, singing was like, singing, never like singing. Because singing was like a soft thing. So now when dancehall comes, a dancehall video. So when the DJ them start, what's up? I say, yeah, man, I like it. So yeah, Bunty and Butch and they want to be one of them. And I jump on my bed because it's the screen and people can jump like Shabba. You know what I mean? So probably that was really what they call gold. But me always do music. I can't remember when I do a lot of music.
So Tarrus, your dad was a popular iconic reggae singer, Mr. Jimmy Riley, who lost in 2016. He was a member of the Uniques before he went solo, also collaborating with producers like Sly and Robbie on songs like Love and Devotion. What was it like in the early stages of your life having Jimmy Riley as your dad?
Having Jimmy Riley as my father was, like I was telling you a while ago, being in studio early and being in concerts early. I was probably like the youngest youth at a lot of concerts. Heineken Star Time. Most youth don't know about that. And I was there, I mean, as Tamlins, then I would listen to Alton Ellis, Wally Big Man. And guess what, at that time I couldn't appreciate it. Because my father friend. And they must sing some big people music and I say, and because like for me, it's become the song that I love. But at the time, but I used to be around and then to me, I think my father was the coolest man in the world. Because a typical day with him, we go to the studio, so we got Jammies, we got Bobby Digital in there, and they might check Sly and Rabbit, they might check Practice, they might check artists. So I say, Bojo. And I tell my friend, I say, oh, Mr. Bojo. And I say, I lie. I say, oh, Mr. Sanchez. And I say, oh, Mr. Sanchez. Yes. Then we stop, you know, get surprised by it. It was just always being around them and just seeing my father and everyone a friend. So yeah.
So in addition to shows, I'm sure that you have been on like tours with him.
No.
No?
And I forgot school.
Not even summertime? Like...
No, I go one show with my father when I start DJ.
Yeah.
I got Bahamas. But I really meet my father patrol.
Wow.
He said, when me bust out in the music like I said, he said, if you're not taking with you, I said, oh, you're not left me. I just said, all right, man.
Alright,
so that was good.
What would you say is the most memorable place you've ever been on tour with your dad?
On stage.
Doesn't matter, anywhere in the world. Just on the stage.
Yeah, especially now that it's not here, I miss seeing my father on stage.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Mr. Jimmy.
Yeah, you can't clap my father. My father
So I'm going to ask you a question as well now. So you talked about your love of clarinet and sax. Do you play multiple horn instruments?
Multiple saxes.
Multiple saxes. That's so really affect saxes. Alright, remember we're talking about origin stories though. So what was your first time on a real stage? I know sometimes you kind of go on a stage in school and you do a thing, but what was your first time on a real stage like, and did you know that you were walking into your purpose?
Well, my first time was, I remember it was Christmas. So, Christmas time at that time, there were free concerts on King Street, downtown Kingston, right against the courthouse. So you were able to, the people who shop and all that could just, have a good time, hear a concert and thing. And so I remember playing there with a group of musicians on stage for the first time. We were called the National Volunteers Youth Organization, NVO. And so my teacher, Alfred Dave O'Brien, took us there and he made arrangements of very popular songs that we played, and people started to go crazy and clap as all these little boys playing, and there's a little fat one in the middle. About him and play sax. And, I remember there who, stood most amongst us. And I started around music before I started really play music. And so that's where it all started. And my teacher was a friend of a man named Cecil Sonny Bradshaw. So my teacher told me that I want you to go and play in that band. So that wasn't exciting to me. Because I was wondering, what am I doing in that band, And so, I said, you know what, let me try. And so I went over to his house in Harborview, and we have a nice little rehearsal room. And he just come with a folder of manuscript and says, play what you can play. So I am there all day trying to play even one song. Never succeeded, but I was just there. And maybe about 5 o'clock in the evening, he come round and said, "Ratted, you still there?" So, I remember him feeding me and said, "Come back tomorrow." And so I went there for about 3 or 4 days, and then he said, "Okay, let's try you on stage." And I went to the Devon House. This is sometime like July 1972. I was only 14 at the time, right? So I went to Devon House, and although I was supposed to be playing, I may have just stand there looking around and wondering, what am I doing in this space? And I had a guitar player, very great guitar player, and Oxbrown is his name, and Oxbrown says, he looks over to me and said, what is he doing on stage? And Mr. Bradshaw said, leave him alone. And Oxford comes to me and said, this boy is supposed to be in his bed. So that now just gave me this drive. I just wanted to tell him that, look here, leave me alone,
I have to ask, I'm going to go off script a little bit, because Sly, I spoke to the other day. Willie Stewart said it when he was on stage the other day. There was an era where it come like these young boys were just like, "Mommy, I'm not going back to school, I'm going to play music." And Mommy was just like, "Yeah, man, go." But like, that doesn't happen. Is that what happened with your parents?
That is exactly what happened to me. But my parents are teachers, educators, and they didn't agree with that. So I had to bridge it. I decided that, all right, I go to Durham College, I learn accounts and all these fancy words, but you have to allow me to play. So that is what happened.
All right, this question is for the both of you. Can you each name one artist who shaped your early musical soul? Maybe it isn't an obvious influence, but somebody that like you saw them and you're like, okay, I want to do this because they're doing it. Or I love how they do it and I want to do it also.
Jimmy Riley is not a good answer.
Jimmy Riley is not an obvious, yes. Jimmy Riley is not, yeah. Somebody else that wouldn't expect Mr. Tarrus.
Me?
Yes, you.
There you go.
Yes. When Buju have a building, we want a building. And when Buju left the building, that black woman, they want a black. Everything when Buju did, like Buju and Shabba, I wanted to be. They just want that name a sound like. That's the name Tarrus. Well, for me personally, Cedric Brooks. I don't know if a lot of people know Cedric Brooks. It was one of my influences. Cedric Brooks is a great, one of the greatest tenor saxophone player out of Jamaica. Band leader for the Mystic Revelation of Rastafari. And his influence, I mean, my teacher, Babe O'Brien, was a fantastic alto sax player. And him and Cedric come from Rockford. And he brought Cedric, to just have us see one of the greats when we were learning. And when I go home, I remember Cedric introducing himself as him. And he said, him? And he said, yeah, man, I am him. And I said, okay. And then I go home and I hear a song on the radio going da 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 da. And at the end of the song, the man said, that's him. So everything started to, on the computer, where I start to, go back and I say him, and then the man said, him Brooks. And I say, yeah, but his name Cedric Brooks. So it's the same person. But he was like one of the first. I started playing Cedric Brooks song the next day. And he started learning from this. So he was really one of the first persons who influenced me. But then I used to go to the movies. My mommy allowed me to go to the movies with a brethren, and the brethren took me to like Tropical Theatre, Majestic Theatres, and Queen's Theatre. These were the theatres that, there were all theatres from the West, and these were the theatres that when the first reel done, we used to call the movies reel, so when the first reel finished, you see Tommy Mac would come out with the Supersonics and play. And so all that thing just starts storing in my mind, and I really did love how Tommy look also. So I said, me want to be like that one day. So just sit like that.
Awesome.
All right, so thank you very much. We're going to move on to the next section where we talk about musical craft, and the production, the lyrics, the genres, the collaborations. So Tifa, you want to start?
All right. So Tarrus, talk to us about She's Royal. What or who inspired that song?
All right, so a lot of people want me to give one person like she is the royal.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth about that song is that it wasn't about one person. It was, you have a hurricane now from Jamaica, I think it's Ivan now, one of them, and they were playing flat now.
Yes.
So it was when we just started recording my second album, Tarrus. We just started. So we have 3 rhythm from me. And we couldn't leave, and we couldn't go nowhere because storm and rain.
Yeah.
So me over my brethren, Jabs. So we just kind of share because we're giving a word out and some friends of ours are watching. So, and then me, this little youth now, we're supposed to go to college. I don't go to college. Me, I follow back on music. Nobody say my chick. So me have to write, that me have scribe, right? So, me write some song like that you say, hey, we got it going on. Boom, write it quick. More than a minute, so. I write one more tune, start write that tune, Lion Pop, and then we have this next rhythm when you have there. I'm saying, I'm going to write a roots love song, because everybody has to baby, I love you, and girl, you're so sexy and you're round, and them. I said, yeah. I want to write away like what Rasta man done. So, I said, so I said, I never been so much shy until you see her eyes. I mean, the eyes is the window to your soul. Lyrics, lyrics. I don't know, regular to it. So I said, oh yes, I treat you like a man is supposed to, you never have to cry. I know everyone can relate to when you find somebody like this caliber. So you're the joke. So I said, she's got it. And it's 12 o'clock at night. I want Rasta by the next door. I said, the one of them got it. We are talking about she's got it. Now, first of all, I never know when these drop in. So I said, Ross. I said, the one of them got it, man. Give me something different, man. And I said, I look around and the rest of us. I said, she's royal. I said, yeah, man. That's the lyrics now. And Mr. Sapa, this wicked. So we start talk about some little subliminal things, and one of the things I always talk about is when we say king and queen crown same time. So that's a big line, but it's really making reference to the 2nd of November 1930, the coronation of His Majesty the President. When it's the first time in history the king stand beside the queen. So I make you know say that is where my deal is. So if I tell you that, it's all like preaching. But if I sing it, you just like groove and I get the message. So that's why you just be passing time, writing music, and wondering if the house ever blown. And it did blow there.
Wow. The board was bumped up.
Yeah, if blood breeze wash it wet.
Wow.
I get a big sound.
Give thanks.
Yeah. I get a new house.
So at what point now during the She's Royal era you was like, my boss, the sun gone.
Never.
Never?
I'll tell you why.
Even with the success of it, it was just like, wow.
Yeah, but let me tell you why. So, She's Royal was never a single. She's Royal is from an album named Tarrus. So, it's my second album. And to be honest, me did have done the music. So, in there, we do an album before named Challenges, and it was definitely not a challenge. So, you know, we do Rebel Salute, and we do Western Consciousness, and then do some show and thing. But it nah.
Can it?
No, it happen, but it not happen like what we want. Like, you know, me young and frisky, so I want to bust. Does that take long? So, Dean say, oh, next album. And I said, next album? I mean, you just write some tune. And I said, well, can't start no album. And Dean had to illusion with them time. Dean's like a father. You have to clap Dean for me. Then. And I'm sure you something. So this Dean really tell me, say, sing and don't play around. Because other people hinted, my mother hinted, Danny Brown hinted, but Dean really said, yo, stop playing.
And you were a DJ.
I still DJ. And because of that, I use all of my musical influence and I call myself an artist. I can't say I'm a singer or a DJ because I think I do a little bit more than both. Because the man who we call DJ, we can't live like them. And the man who we call singer, we can't sing like them. So we find a little way to sing it. So let me just get to the first part. So when we not listening to my mother and father, I pursue music. I actually live with me. So Dean kind of helped me from being homeless. Yeah, kind of true thing. Because me now listen to my mother and father, I just follow music. So him could relate because remember the passage from my 14. So me I sing and Dean I hear me. If me I wash plate and anything that in my hear me I sing, nah, tell me. Him trick me, you know. I scam me, you know. So at the time, one of my good friends did an album, me and Abasha did an album and thing. And I was writing a lot of music and tell us something right.
Yeah.
And you know, I sing background with him, play keyboard, you know, me I help him. But I move like the weirdas, my man, like really think like really weirdas. And the virgin at the time, rest in peace, I'm like them Blemmo, what the cry do. Him, Dean just go to him and say, yo, Tarrus album. And then laugh. I said, Tarrus shy man. And Dean I said, just me, Tarrus, but. And I said, Tarrus, you sure? And I said, for sure. Anyway, Dean not tell me that listen. Dean just come over and I said, Tarrus, I'm an artist. I come in to come make some tune. All the while to say I play piano and you want the version of some tune. Bring more half dozen tune come my street. I said, what? Really? And I'm a writer.
Yeah.
So I feel like, no, it's a food after writing. So I write some tune and like that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I said, do you know how to sing on that? He said, that's going alright. That's going alright, boss. I said, alright. I said, make sure you sing, I can sing them tunes because I'm bad tune, you know. He said, yes, man. Weekend. Right. No wrongs, just right. And next week on studio time, we go to the studio, tell me what me tell a lie. We go to the studio, and musicians come Chris Meredith, Bowie, Gibby, that they call it, and all the musician top tier. And who now play a watch. So me sit down, tough guy Marcus there, drive around there to the piano. Man who thinks he's larger than life. And I said, naturally. And then I see the drummer start finding, and the bass, and I said, wow. And I said, Dean, what the singer there? What the singer? Yeah, Dean, let's go and sing. Go and sing, bass. And I said, when the light is striking everybody, it's already record. Chris, God, give me an intro, Mama, Tarrus, sing. Right? No lies, and that is how it started. So that was the singing part. So come forward now. So when me I do the second album now, I trick him and try to trick me again. But you can't trick me. So I'm just telling them. I said, we start off, good people love what we're doing, we can't stop that. And I said, now go back to Dusha, now come back, and we're ready. He said, alright, everything is safe. We go on tour one time, he called me. Rest in peace to my sister. My sister used to go to school all and things, so there's John Legend and him and that was in the college student.
Yeah.
So we leave Jamaica, going to my sister, she tell me about them. Boom. Being the pantour. Tarrus! You know what tune name Stay With You? By John Legend. He said, you know John Legend? This is what ordinary people are much the whole world.
Yeah.
Now wait for you come back to her now. Them say don't stay with you. They say I'm been together for a while now. Going stronger every day now. Them say, ah, cool. And like you might talk to somebody and say, go ahead. I swear, I'll tell you, I can't hear them. Them say, they know the tune, man, they know the tune. Alright, see, I'm so calm, let's not go to the place. And come down here, run out the place now. They say, alright, cool. Dean reach at Jamaica. Where Dean tell me? Imagine him tell that EJ if you sing somebody's song. You know me fight. I said, Dean, I'm not pirate, we don't sing people's song, brother. We don't sing people's song. He must say, sing the tune, man. So I'm not doing it. He said, sing the tune. I said, I'm not doing it. I said, alright. Deal. We're going to make a deal. That's scam. He said, Lucian already give praise to Rastafari. Me, the rhythm. So the rhythm there, right at you, pan. The rhythm, and some Japanese are going to do a project that eat that food and sing the tune for me. He said, cool. In my mind, me not sing theme tune. So I write the tune, write that tune, the system said. I said the system said to keep the family out there fighting. At the same master, the Chinese. One day he called me and said, come my studio. And we met the rhythm to stay with you. I still don't go around it. It was my birthday too. And the rhythm make me stay with you. And I write the song. Here comes recording. Ready, Dean. System said, sing off my tune. I said, alright, Dean, I forgot because I don't know. He said, I'm to my own, man. So, alright, Dean, cool. He said, ready. He said, been together for a while now. Going stronger every day now. It's so good that there is no doubt that I will stay with you. Let's go down now. Let's go. Let's see what's in there. 90. Let's go.
That really right there. Me just sing, me just asking. If I'm lying, so me sing it one time, you know. And then, if I fix the intro, and I fix the intro, if I fix the little part of the bridge, and if I say, come on, guys, you know. I'm done. And they leave. And me, I laugh. Because I said, that's alright. Then just balance the truth and send it down radio. Wow. And the boss. Wow. So what's the lesson? What you learn? Anytime you tell me to sing a song, make it 99 by that. The other day we're fighting. But we kind of listen. The other day we're fighting. But most of the time, when them say sing a song, I say, which song you have, babe? Because, you know, trust me, it changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah, man, so that is a fun fact.
Alright. Most artists dream of having mentors and figures that you have had in your lifetime and career. You have been so blessed. How did this bond between you and Dean begin and develop?
Well, before me, you can't tell about me before me, you can't tell about the man and going with the man from Sly and Robbie and Willie Lindo and the whole crew and like Sonic Sound crew, Dynamic crew. You know, I have to do it. I'm a big man who put power there. Fathers left my mom's there. And they said, we are one.
right, so this section now is the nice section. This is about your personal life. So we're going to talk about family, faith, business, education, etc., etc.
Go ahead.
Where did the name Singy Singy come from? Who coined the term Singy Singy?
Jamaica people.
Jamaica.
Yeah, because we said fatty, we said natty, we said black girl, we said tall man, we said bigger. We just, so me I sing, them say singing. Because I sing the same as the man next to the community, doing the pen when I said them, I just say singing. And they like it.
Makes sense.
So I just saw them was a pretty girl, tall man. You know that.
So Singy Singy, bend foot.
The band for mischief.
Yeah. I will always hear about your dad. I want to know about the next half that birthed Tarrus.
Yeah.
What kind of parent was her mom? Was she stern? What kind of parenting style did she have?
My mother can say, but my mother's a nurse. So I always tell people that my mother is a nurse and my father is a singer, so I make healing music. So my mother healing people.
Really?
Yeah. But my mother have a lot to do with the music that a lot of people don't know. Because my mother is a big bathroom singer. And she sing Tracy Chapman and Dolly Parton and she was the first one who told me that she had my voice.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Dee, as far as certain things, I like music, but I have to do my book work. So no book work, no music. So that is my mother, I'm a friend. My mother, she's here, she's not here, but she fly in to do something. My mother, I'm a friend. But my mother, I told her. Yeah. That's why she could have do it, my father. I'm not too Gemini, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
My mother is a June Gemini, and my father is a
Gemini. Wow.
Right?
Alright, how have both parents affected you as a parent yourself and your relationship towards your children?
That's a good question. I think, come my opinion and tell me if it's joke. Then let's do it more.
Wow.
I think that is me. My kids keep me and my friend. They respect me and everything.
Yeah.
But I think me and them have like a more brother and sister vibe because of my parents. Because my mother teach me that you don't own your children. She tell me like you have kids but you don't really own your children. It's like God gives you your kids, but it's not you own them. You cannot own your kids. You have to guide your kids and lead your kids and still allow them to be themselves. You can't own them. And I said, what do you mean? No, I own them. She said, no. They have their own dreams, their own. She said, look at you. I want you to do that and look what you do. I don't own you. You know what I mean? Yeah. So she teach me that. So I think, and then my father, again, so Imran said it like, it was more discipline is there, but I can't read it too rough with them. But more like reason with them. I get that from my brain. They never really call me down too much. They never get all about business.
How many kids do you have?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So many people don't know this, but you're actually a New Yorker.
No, that is the trick. Let us push me out there, so. That is first.
You're still a New Yorker. That's where you're born.
Yeah, but my first report is
Yes, yeah, definitely.
But funny enough, watch it show. The first time Mrs. Snow at 22, I've been rolling line like a pig.
Wow.
At the uncle place, enough time I can't get last up to we don't know nothing about it. And here the funny thing now, you notice everybody we breathe at Jamaica fly out. And for the little book for next year, so then you things set up.
Yeah.
And who know how to be an artist? And would have to travel the world.
The world.
And your next part. It's so funny, you know, this life around in a circle. You know? So in foreign, it's always never enough. It's never enough in Jamaica, and it's never enough
here.
So you're there in Jamaica with your father, and you have to leave and whatever. The friend them begs. I said, well, you want to go foreign and you get to go. You're there at school, Florida. They're doing maths. They're doing 2 and 2, 2 plus 1, 2, 3, 6, 2 plus 8, 2, 5, 7, 9. What is that? But they're the exercise book. Remember the exercise book?
Yeah, the times about
now wear a shirt up in my pants, white shirt. They must say, yo, now we're bright. But they must say, yo, it wasn't cool to be Jamaican. Jamaican culture wasn't cool enough. You see, Haitian and Jamaican get them more, and African, them laugh into start. I remember Shabba was saying, who are you, Shabba? It wasn't cool. So like it's always like a cultural thing. And when you see nowadays culture is the thing, everybody is walking with flags. I'm like, oh really now? But I was the first one in a mango tree in the yard. We used to sell mango.
Wow.
Because one East Indian mango tree there in that area. I mean,
Sorry, Island Space Mango Festival, June 7th.
I see what you're doing. No, I tell you, like we never we live the culture where we go. We never live. I don't live a foreign culture. I can't outside of pop culture.
Yeah.
But in my house,
Jamaica.
and in my liberty, I can't be nothing can do. It is just that. So it's very funny. It's the funniest thing otherwise. Because people always come to me, I want to connect to them with that and I can't.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, yo, you know, I remember, and I was like, you remember me? Because we never know.
You just born busy.
And that's cool. And we give thanks, you know, because we give thanks to the black book. And if you're going to set up for yourself in that place, I'm pleased.
True. Alright, where in Jamaica did you reside though? And what schools you attended?
No, so I used to live between, when I'm with my father, it's Kingston 20.
Yeah.
So that's 20 parts of Blue Valley. And then when we are big, I used to live on my own. If we there in the east, because the other side of my family, which we never know, they don't send them.
Okay.
So when my father, brother, them want to be Rasta, them go look for my granny sister and just live out there. So when them see me, them say, I see them so children, them live out there. I did the whole heap of mistake.
Alright, so what schools you went to?
I went to Miramar High School.
Miramar High School?
Yeah, I went to Miramar High School and I went to Perry.
Okay, so you went to school in Jamaica?
I did because by the time my sister go back to school time.
Alright, so separate and apart from them teasing you and saying, Shabba, were you like a shy guy in school?
No guys, no guys.
Were you like a gallus or were you reserved in school? Like,
No, I wasn't gallus. No gallus. I wasn't gallus. I'm quiet, but quiet to strangers. When me and my friend them link up with chat, and I probably am like that today. You probably think I'm antisocial until they're your friend. They chat off your ears. So probably that's quiet to strangers. Yeah?
okay. So for the single ladies in the audience,
Yeah.
is Tarrus married? Is Tarrus taken?
Tarrus needs to be avoided. just avoid Tarrus and just love his music. Tarrus is a peaceful Rasta man. Tarrus loves all the ladies in the world. And Tarrus needs to just be avoided. Tarrus is a mess in progress. Pray for Tarrus.
At least they're honest about it.
No man, Tarrus have daughters, and Tarrus daughters will come here. Listen up, Tarrus is singer. Just love her music and finding on the next life and coming back as Lenny Kravitz. Like Rico Suave. But right now,
About Tarrus.
avoid me, please. You want to dance it? Oh, my son. You want to talk about the fashion and the indoor?
Okay, so you are very stylish. You're a fashionist too.
Thank you.
What motivates you style?
What motivates my style?
Hold on, before you go there, correct? Because I asked Tarrus, can you donate an item of clothing? We have things from Sly, we have things from Spice over there. And I said, Tarrus, can we get an item of clothing over there? He said, yes, I'm going to give you one and make myself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you made it with your two hands.
No, I cut the fabric.
Oh wow.
So I just needed to introduce the fact that he actually makes his own fashion.
Yeah, but I mean, guide for sure. When them people fabric and I have decided in my mind, no, I want it to be.
So you're going into the fashion design industry. We can see a Tarrus like too.
That would be cool. but I don't know how. I mean, the music is like a singer, so I'd have to learn about the industry. But what I do like to do, I like to study how things are put together. So like I start learning about like color palettes and like texture and fabric and whatever. It's interesting, and I think I have a love of it. And it started by music, just going on music sets, talking to the stylists, hear them talk, try back things, meeting people, hearing what them talk. Just like, no, that rough. So that is how I just get into
The motivation for that.
yeah, it's just fun.
Yeah. Khalid, tell me what's you.
All right, so Dean, looking back at the young Dean Fraser, what do you think he would be most proud of in the man and the musician that you have become?
Can't anyway, that sits into beside me, you know. Simple as that. Tarrus riding. Yeah, man.
No, hold on, you know that mean? That means that me and the young give me myself to do the right thing and me not listen all the while. That is why I'm laughing like it's in. I say, see him there? That's the young me. I'm talking to him, telling him everything, don't follow me, do the right thing. You see?
What was one of your most memorable moments? Maybe when you were working on a song or working on a song and thinking, yes, I know this one is going to be a hit or this person is going. Don't say Tarrus again. But
I want to tell you, Tarrus could have give you that. Because that came out of a song called Super. Yeah. So I can tell everybody one of my most memorable moments is on stage with, because I actually toured first with Dennis Brown. And so in 1979 I went to Montreux Jazz Festival with Dennis Brown. That concert was headlined by Peter Tosh, and the opening act was Steel Buds. So that's where I think ever since that day, nobody can talk to me about reggae music. Nobody can tell me nothing. Because I saw an audience of about, I think it was about 7,000 people. And at the end of the concert, you know, usually you get the police to stop people from coming into the concert. Well, this concert, they got the police to get the people out of the concert. And at the high point of the concert, Peter Tosh brought Dennis Brown and Steel Pulse on stage. Sly, Robin Lynn, Keith Sterling, Dean Fraser, Nampa Robinson, Chico Chin, you know, Winston Bowen, all these great musicians were just elated by the reaction of the people. And it's something that you just can't get rid of. You understand? So that was one of my high points. The other point of music that I will never forget is when I recorded Wake Up and Live with Bob Marley. And him said, give me a solo no man. And I took that famous solo in Wake Up and Live on alto saxophone. And on His Majesty Centennial at the National Arena in Kingston, Jamaica, Bob Marley called me up on stage and said, play the solo for them, you know. You understand me? So that was just, you know, really, it does indelible, you know, it does.
How do you stay grounded after so many years in the spot? What is it that keeps you balanced spiritually or emotionally?
Well, we have electricity, right? And it has to be grounded.
It's a bad see, my bad say where you know we are in chest.
Good one. All right, we can say we're wrapping up a little. What's next? We're going to talk about new projects, who you're mentoring, and what's up for tomorrow's show. So this question is for the both of you. How do you feel about the state of our Jamaican music? Are we progressing or are we regressing? And the areas in which we are lucky, what do you think we can be done to improve the state of the music and the culture? Mr. Fraser.
Our music, so to speak, is a regress according to people. You understand me? No, from our point of view and from the Jamaican music point of view, we have always and still is and will always make good music. No,
well for Dean Fraser. Last year I went through a medical emergency, and this guy, Ian Johnson from England, my good friend, he says to me, I have a CD for you. I'm like, yeah, another one. And it was a Dean Fraser. And I usually say, what is this when something is happening? And your song, This Is Happiness, really changed my life. And for me to be here, really manifested after I play this song all the time, and I'm like, what is this? And now I'm here. So I really thank you for the music that you're putting out. I know it's well thought of and it's passionate and natural, but it's changing people's lives and really telling them what happiness is. And one for Tarrus. I also have the same experience with She Is Royal. There are times when we just go through something and we kind of forget who we are. But your song always reminds us who we are.
So I know there were 4 and we got 2. Who are the last 2?
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maddie. First, I'd like to say thank you, Mr. Frazier and Mr. Riley, for coming out and spending time with us. I know you have a busy schedule, so I do appreciate it. Secondly, I want to thank you for your great contributions to the music industry. Keep going forward, keep moving forward. My question is for Tarrus. I know you mentioned that your parents, being a nurse and a singer, you produce healing music. In view of everything that transpired in your personal life, as of recently and lately, is your music a form of healing for yourself?
Yes. Yes, absolutely, yes. And I tell you a little more about it. Sometimes, how do I tell you this without taking my business? So my songs have a lot of hidden messages in them to me. And whoever, like what about She's Royal, a while ago, you never know that. So like there's a lot of songs that I write to just free up my mind. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood and I write a happy song. For example, I have a song. It's my day to do anything I want to, and it's my time, and I'll use it any way I want to. It sounds happy, right? I never want to do nothing because I say I'm my day. Yeah. That's a nice song. So there's a lot of my personality in the music, and I could go on, and you know, so it is a form of therapy for me, and that's why I'm responsible in what I say, because I don't want to put out anything and it backfire on me, honestly. So it's therapy for me. Good question.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Lucy. So I'll say this.
I like the style.
Thank you. I like your song.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm also a singer, yes.
Maybe
So I have a two-part question because I'm really doing my best to be an advocate for the music community in South Florida. And recently I was advised by the AFM, that's our local musicians union, that there is a bill that they're trying to pass that is taking away 75% of the tourism tax, like, income for Florida to put towards other things, which means less festivals, less opportunities for us to have events. And so as artists, and I think about Bob Marley and how radical he was, how do we combat that? How do we, as artists, participate and stand up? We play feel-good music, but what about the other parts that we're responsible for? Let's talk about responsibility. Thank you.
all right, that's not political though. That sounds like you guys got to unite here first. We need to have some conversations with the music fraternity here and see how, because that doesn't sound like if there's something to push down, I say go push it down. But this look like it's going to take a lot more time, and like the music industry here and the big players need to like hold some serious forward thinking meetings of how
to address these bills. Because if they're passing a bill, you have to go try to stop them a bill. So that you guys need to really get a tight knit of people thinking about that.
Are you talking about musical activism as well, though?
Yeah, I mean when it's treated, when it needs what it needs. But the first thing, no one person can go against the one of them. So now for the team up. Major success.
I do have a bigger privilege.
Yeah,
I'm going to bring this young lady on who I've asked, and she has said so from before. But I want to say one little word. Kenny is the co-founder of Island Space Caribbean Museum. David is the co-founder of Island Space Caribbean. And I don't ever want to say I am the other co-founder, but I am. What I want to say though.
Why you don't want to say that?
No, because I just seeing this is all I need. I don't need to say I am. Doesn't matter to me. But Tarrus, actually I want to say this before I handle it. You have a song, Just the Way You Are. And that song is a very special song to me. Not because it means anything to me personally, but it's the same thing like I said about the museum. It's about how it's lifting up women and people who are not sure about themselves. And that's such a powerful song, so I want to give you a big up.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you.
And as we speak about powerful women, right? I want to say happy birthday to you, Tarrus Riley.
Thank you.
I want to say blessed love to you, Dean Fraser, Tifa. I'm not sure your name, but I want to say pleasant. Khalil, right? Khalil. Oh, that's a beautiful name. I want to say pleasant good night to everyone. Anyway, I'm going to keep it short and sweet. My name is Princess Shaw. I started in the business as a female DJ at 12 years old, and I'm in the business for 32 years. But it's your time, it's your guys' time, and my question is, at what age you guys think? I mean, everybody come for a short time, some come for a long time. I wish everybody here for a long time. But at what age you guys think that you're going to say, hey, I'm just going to pack up and that's it?
I shall sing. I shall sing.
Alright, I guess that's it. Thank you very much to Tifa, our upcoming new board member of Island State. Thank you very much to Tarrus Riley, to Dean Fraser. Before we go, we just want to remind everyone that there is a show tomorrow. What started it? They rebranded. We gotta stay on top of our branding. It's called Hard Art. People are going? No, come on. How many people are going tomorrow? Alright, more. Alright,
You know what is nice?
What's nice?
The Jamaican community.
Yes.
We link about with Tarawa. So no, don't clap it. So guess what? We don't care how you do. So I will see you on the plane. I will see you. So you have all about yeah. I say yeah, I never see you at the concert. I will give you words. Yeah, you can't hide. But must see you somewhere.
Can you do us a favor? Start holding up with your phone out. Even if you are not going, can you just tag whatever you put up and say to your friend? Tag some friends who you think go and tell them they need to go to the concert tomorrow. It's very reasonably priced. I don't know how much the price, but it's very reasonably priced. And the global tour, and Maria and Gustavo are here. They came to make sure on behalf of the Barrett Center and the partners, clap them up, please, to make sure that we're all here. Let's move the backs over there. Begin, please, Mr. Riley and Mr. Dean Fraser.
Want to get things?
Of course.
That's great. Beach will be a thing.
On behalf of Island Space, it's time to go to the beach. You have to cut your shirt and show the people in your shirt. So you got a shirt. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, man, your pieces of Jamaica shirt available up at the front of $10. Right? You heard about all of the festivals, all of the activities that go on. Island Space is a non-profit organization. You were able to enjoy this evening free because of the support of our partners at the Barrett Cultural Barrett Center for the Performing Arts. I always say the Barrett Cultural Division. And the Community Foundation of Broward. Right? Those are some of the organizations that keep us going. You have heard about the defunding. I think that's some of what Lisa was talking about. Some of our money was affected by that, right? We're a non-profit, but we still have staff to pay, we still have bills to pay, we still have rent and events to put on, and we do that typically with the help of that money that we get from the government or from private funders, etc. We were some of the people who got cut, right? A lot of the money that we would have gotten from the Institute of Museum and Libraries was cut this year. So, those of you who come here often know that we pass a bucket. We call it a cultural tithe. Yeah, we do offering. We call it a cultural tithe. When I force you, but if you are so minded, I ask you to give. I prefer to give 100, but if you have 20 or 10, we can work with that as well. There is some nice days over here in some buckets. Please, whatever you can put in the bucket. They will put it in the bucket. Please, we appreciate you so much. And we appreciate Tarrus, we appreciate Mr. Big Fraser, Tiffany, CG, like he has something else to say before we wrap it up.
Yeah, just quickly, I want to again say a big thank you to these two big Jamaican icons, not physically, just in terms of I want to see people of the women in the community.
Yeah.
Because you have been holding the community together, and that's just the reality. And I want to say big up. If you notice, there are mostly women here. Yeah. And that's typically what happens in the diaspora. So I want to say big up to our women and say Tiffany, Queen, and the entire team. We say big up. I want to honor the raffle, so if you have registered for the 5K, just come and see one lady. Just come actually after. If you don't want to
register for the 5K, and then I want 2 tickets to the concert tomorrow.
Right, if you're registered, then you're the only person, so you're going to get the it's www.jamaica-5krun.com. I'll give you 5 minutes to do it. 5 minutes to do it. 5 minutes to do it. Alright, back to you, please. Thank you very much.
I think we're just going to do a picture real quick. Guys, remember tomorrow at the park for Fireside, Dean Fraser, Black Soul Band, live, and then next week, Art of Music Festival, May 11th, Mother's Day. Make sure you attend that in Boca. No other concert to go to Nancy Priest, Alison Hines, B, and a host of others.